an opening statement.
All right. Good morning. Appreciate you guys being here. Just excited to officially announce and to introduce Nick Sheridan as our new offensive coordinator for the Indiana Hoosiers. And just really excited about the opportunity that Nick has earned. That's how I view it. You know, he's been with us here the last several years since I took over as head coach. And a lot of respect for Nick and what he's done while he's been here. I think that when you go through and hiring is about it's about fit, it's about timing at times. It's about getting a guy that will help you better your program, and that's I felt like that a year ago when Mike DeBoer decided to retire, bringing in Kalen DeBoer was a great fit, was right timing, was an excellent addition to our staff. He did a tremendous job, and at that time Nick went from coaching the quarterbacks and moved to tight ends and did a tremendous job. Grew, I think, even more so as a coach as you kind of work into a new position, coaching, even in special teams work. It's just a different feel. And I saw even more out of him that even impressed me more, the way he handled that, and he obviously his comfort zone was quarterbacks and in that area, but that's what, I challenged him about just being able to grow in that, and he responded in a great way. So those are all things that go into it, and then you go through and you listen to people that you work with, and Kalen came to me actually, even before he knew he was leaving, just about what Nick brings to our staff and the mind that he has and the offensive abilities that he has. And Kalen was just raving to me about him and what he felt he brought to our staff and the way he thought and saw things, and both schematically and in personnel. And so that just all the more, gave me the confidence, and I feel it was with very strong confidence to make this decision, and have talked to all of our coaches prior to announcing it and making the final call, and they were all 100% on board with Nick, and I know our players feel the same way. So with all that being said, just really excited about promoting Nick to the offensive coordinator position for the 2020 season and beyond, and I believe he'll do a tremendous job. So I'll give him a chance to make an opening statement, and you can have questions.
Yeah, I just want to echo some of the things that Coach said. Obviously, I want to thank Coach for this opportunity. I'm extremely humbled, extremely grateful, and I don't take it lightly. And I told him, when we had these conversations, that I won't let him down. And I'm thankful to continue to work with the staff that we get to work with. We have tremendous chemistry. Grant, Mike, Darren, Danny, Mike Piakowski, Drew Moulton, even Nick Viacable, our student assistant, they've all done a phenomenal job, and that's one of the things I'm extremely grateful for, is the opportunity to continue to work with them. And then lastly, as I've mentioned before, I want to thank our players and let them know how excited I am to continue to work with them. Their competitiveness, their toughness, their grit, and the way that they performed this year, I just couldn't be more excited to continue to get a chance to work with them, and we're really excited about what's ahead.
Get you, Mike, if you have a question. Peaks.
Just your offensive philosophy, can you sum that up in sort of way as possible? Who have been the biggest influencers to you in developing that?
Sure. I think when you look at our identity, I think we want to be an attacking pro-tempo offense that features its playmakers, and we want to be an offense that's quarterback-driven and quarterback-friendly. And there's a lot that goes into it. Obviously, the biggest factor in winning and losing is turnover margin and creating explosive plays. That's how you score points. So everything that we do, everything that we put together is an attempt to help us win and help us score points. And that's really what we're trying to do. As far as influences, I've tried to pride myself in learning every step of the way. And I've learned from a lot of great coaches, starting with my dad. And I've been fortunate that my father is a defensive coach. So I've learned from a young age some of the things that give them problems. And then from there, every coach that I've worked with, certainly Coach DeBoer and what he brought to our offense this past year was a tremendous influence on me. Mike DeBoer, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for my connection with him. I'm incredibly grateful to him and all that he's done for me, and certainly Coach Allen. I got asked this yesterday, but I've learned every single day that I've been here from Coach Allen. And the work ethic, the character, the integrity, the passion that he has for our players, it's motivating, and it makes it easy to come to the office every day, and I'm excited about that.
Cam, and then John.
I guess something both of you can speak to is the shift from being a position coach to calling plays. That's something you've done, Tommy. Is that something you're preparing to do now, Nick? So what does that process look like, and I guess how do you guys plan to adapt to that for just being the first time you're calling plays at the college level?
Yeah, I think certainly I'm excited about that. You know, I look at everything as an opportunity, and I think the selection of plays on game day is critical. Obviously, that's an important part of this role, and I'm really looking forward to doing that. You know, I think that when you asked about offensive philosophy, I think the first word that we want to hang our hat on is being attacking. You know, we want to be aggressive. We want to make sure that we do things that help us get first downs and score points. And at the same time, nothing's more important than winning. And so I think sometimes as an offensive coach, you want to do what helps you win first, and then obviously what helps you score points, and not in the reverse order. You don't want to jeopardize your opportunity to win just because of your recklessness, so to speak. But I'm looking forward to that opportunity. And I know the staff, you know, the plan that we put together from Sunday till kickoff, you know, will give you the confidence to make sure that the plays that you are going to select are going to work. And obviously the timing of that is important, and I'm looking forward to that.
Well, John, then Jim and Rick.
Tom, you've obviously hired young coaches before Kane, last year with defensive coordinator, but you talked about him having that play calling experience at Eastern Illinois and South Alabama. What gives you the confidence here to kind of, you know, skip that step in terms of getting guys?
Yeah, I think that you know, for me, it comes down to being able to have a mind for the game. You know, that's such a big part. And when you talk to people, and when you know, and the thing about that helps me, you know, is being on the headsets, you know, throughout all the games for 3 straight years now. And Nick, the first 2 years, was the one that I communicated with a lot of things on the headsets regarding our offense, obviously in conjunction with Mike DeBoard. And so I just feel without any hesitation that the feel for the game, the understanding of the game, and the ability to, you know, have a big picture of it all. You can, some guys can visualize it, you know, and verbalize it in their mind, and the really good play callers can do that. You know, they can see it, and they can anticipate what's next, and to be able to, and we have the system that we have. I just really believe strongly in what we've evolved into, and really kind of came all together this year. And that's the thing too. I think that people, you know, it really wasn't as there weren't as many wholesale changes as it might appeared. You know, there's a lot of continuity to some things, so we called things differently, and Kayla came in, but it wasn't bringing in a whole different system. But there's no question it was tweaked and made better. And I gave you know, Kayla the charge to. I wanted us with the change last year to create more explosive plays, which I felt like would create more points. You know, and those two went together. As has already been mentioned, it's about, you know, the turnover margin as a team, and explosive play ratio as a team. And so when you do that on offense, you protect the football and you create explosive plays, you usually score more points. And so that's what we were able to do. Those were probably the 2 biggest differences in our team from before. And so, but to be able to see and understand all that, and to be able to anticipate, is really kind of what I think is the biggest quality, is you can visualize and have a feel for, you know, where the defense is going to be aligning, where the weaknesses in that defense, and where you can attack them. And that to me is what play calling is. And it is timing. You got to have a feel for that. And so just like anything else, I think that, you know, for me, when you know, Coach Taggart hired me from Ole Miss, you know, I had not called it at this level, and really not anything close to it. And when I got to this point, and so, but he believed in my preparation and the ability for me to do that, and I was able to prove him that I was able to. And so I feel the same way with Nick, and really just have absolutely, you know, I'm excited, you know, looking forward to having him, you know, put you know, his stamp on this offense, and but it's just, as he said, it's just such a good room. I mean, I just love our staff, and they work so well together. And like I said, I sit in all those meetings, and I sit here and communicate in the headsets, and understand how they work, and how they manipulate, and how they adjust and adapt during the games, and game plan together. So really kind of relying, you know, the we is better than me, you know, and as a staff, and so all of that collective group is better than any one of them individually. And Kalen would be the first one to say that, even when he was here. So that's why I see it being a great, you know, natural next step for us, and a very, very good next step for our team and our program.
Jim, Rick, and then Pete.
Nick, you talked about a lot of coaches that you had the opportunity to learn under. The one you're replacing, Kalen DeBoer, obviously had a huge impact on Indiana's offense, as big as anybody has in a long time. What did you learn from him, and what can you use to build off of that for next season?
I think the most important thing is just the type of person he was and how he treated people. And the way he was consistent on a day-to-day basis, I think gave our players great confidence because they knew what they were getting. And so obviously some of the scheme additions and some of the alterations in what we were doing and improvements, obviously, those are things that we'll continue to grow on and build on. But I think more than anything, just the type of person he was and how he led, and his wife Nicole and his two girls, they just were, we couldn't have asked for a better fit. And we're thankful to Coach Allen that that's who he ended up going to get for us. And it was great. And we're going to miss him, and we're excited for him and looking forward to cheering him on as he continues to chase his dreams.
Rick over here.
Just how much input did you have on game plan last season and play calling as the game went on? And do you see yourself doing it from the sidelines or up in the press box?
Yeah, I helped input for all the plays that worked and scored, and then all the other ones I had nothing to do with. It's a collective effort. It really is. And, like I said, as I mentioned prior, I couldn't say enough about Grant Hurd and Mike Hart and Darren Hiller. And we just, and I know coaches mentioned it, we really do work well together. And, Coach has been preaching the culture of LEO, and really I do feel like in the offensive staff room that really we live it every day. And then as far as locations on game day, that'll be to be determined at a later date. We'll do whatever's best for our players, give them confidence on game day, and we'll discuss that as we continue to move forward.
Pete?
Nick, in terms of having fun calling plays, innovating plays, how much do you look forward to that? Are you the type of guy that just dreams up plays on the sidelines there, or how does that work?
Well, there's not as much of that as you may think. Obviously, we don't, get 4 to 6 hours of sleep Monday through Friday just to draw up plays on Saturday. There's a lot of preparation that goes into the game. And so, I love the schematics part of football. My favorite part about coaching is the players, is the interaction with the players. But to say that I don't enjoy the X and O's and the schematic competition that goes into coaching, I absolutely do. And there's a fine line between trying to be too creative, but then your execution can suffer. So you got to make sure that your players can execute on game day, and you're doing everything in your power to give them the best schematic advantages you can. And so that challenge is exciting, and I know our staff and myself are looking forward to that.
Kevin and then Taylor.
You have your 3 top receivers, 2 top running backs coming back. Thoughts on the personnel that you have and maybe the expectations that come with that?
Yeah, our expectations are to do better next year than we did this year, and it'll always be that way. We're looking to try to grow and improve, and the challenge to the players is that just because you had some success last season, it has no impact on what's going to happen in the future. You have to earn it every day in this league, and we're looking forward to that. Very excited about the quality of people that Coach and the rest of the staff has brought here to Indiana. The players, they're just a joy to be around. And I know I mentioned that at the beginning, but one of the things I'm most excited about is just to continue to work with our players. And the energy, the passion, the commitment to one another, the LEO mindset that they bring on a day-to-day basis, I just couldn't be more thrilled and excited.
Taylor, then Zach.
Coach, along with the news of Coach Sheridan, there was also news of title changes with Coach Hurd and Coach Hart. Does that constitute any role changes for them going forward? Or is it kind of more of a redefinition of how they contributed this season?
Well, I think, really excited to be able to promote Grant Hurd to co-offensive coordinator. I think in my mind that just increases, to show my confidence in him and his ability to expand his role. He's been the pass game coordinator. The challenge for me, and as I challenge him, he has goals for his future as well, and I feel like that for him to expand as an offensive-minded individual in the run game and protections and those kind of areas, to be able to be more involved in that, to help him grow there and to be where he wants to be, and I know that our staff will benefit from that. And it's the same with Mike Hart. To me, the way I kind of look at that as being the associate head coach is that if I'm ever not at something, they are the one that the team looks to be in my place, and so that's a big deal, And so, like the assistant head coach kind of has more the role of just kind of doing the behind the scene things that nobody likes to do, So, but just helping with things that need to be done, but the associate head coach to me is going to stand in front of the team and take my place when I can't be at something or when he needs to address the team or something. So, Kalen DeBoer was in that role previously, and Mike DeBoer before that. And so I just feel like both those guys had been head coaches before at other places. But I just feel like, so from Mike Hart's perspective, that's a big deal to me, you know, and I trust him, and he has a great feel, talks to our players a lot, handles a lot of things for me that are really important, sensitive things that you have to have somebody there that has a great feel for you and who you are and how you would talk to either the players or to whoever he's dealing with. And so I just think those are two, you know, important roles that so I do see them as definite important promotions within our program, and feel like with having, you know, Nick in his first time in this role, I think giving them that support with those guys is important, you know. And so I'm excited about those two guys, and Darren Hiller continues to be just a mainstay on that side of the ball, you know, as you know, really coordinating our run game and shoring up our protections.
Zach, and then last one for
Nick, anecdotally, obviously with Kalen DeBoer at press box last season, it seemed like you spent a fair bit of time with quarterbacks on game day, just kind of working through things in between drives. I guess just how does that maybe, as you move back into coaching with full time, help keep that relationship strong, even if obviously from a title perspective, you know, you were handling them?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question. I think, you know, the one thing I tell all the players that I've been fortunate enough to coach is once I'm your coach, I'm always your coach. So just because your title or your role may change, it doesn't mean that I didn't continue to have a relationship with the guys in that room. And, you know, I think the world of all those kids, and I've been directly involved with the majority of their recruitment. And so, you know, I'm excited about continuing to work with them. I've spoken to the tight ends, and I'm excited that as a coordinator, you get an opportunity to coach everybody. You certainly trust the staff that you have, and they do the primary coaching for their positions. But I'm looking forward to continuing to grow and develop those relationships. Like I said earlier, that's my favorite part of coaching, is the interaction with the players. And so I'm very much looking forward to that.
Rick, last one.
Tom, Bruce Feldman at The Athletic reported earlier today that Kevin Wright was going to be joining the staff here. How close are you to making a decision on adding another staff?
Well, you know, we're getting ready to go to the convention here. I'm actually leaving this afternoon, and so those are, you know, we got some positions that we've got to get squared away, and so nothing's official with all that. I know there's this time of year, those sources confirmed are flying around like crazy across Twitter and beyond. So, but yeah, we just we'll have those. I hope to have everything kind of squared away with our staff. I'll have some questions answered probably within the next 5 to 6 days.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.